This is 5 Minutes to Change Your Life. My name is Joanne Mallon. I'm an author and coach. I love helping people make wee changes that make a massive difference in their lives. Give me 5 minutes of your time today. Just might change your life. Hey, hello, what about you? How nice to be back. I mean, fair play, the last episode was only a few weeks ago, so you might be thinking, we have not been anywhere, Joanne. But I did actually record the last few episodes in a batch, so I've not been behind this microphone for, well, a while. Saying that though, I did do some radio over the summer, which was really nice, so you might have heard me. I popped up on a few BBC radio stations, which is always fun. Also, over the summer, I went to see the Kneecap film. Now, if you've not come across this, Kneecap are an Irish language rap band from West Belfast, and they've made a film which is in cinemas now telling a version of their origin story. Really good film. I enjoyed it a lot. I wasn't sure about Kneecap, the band, before I went to see the film, because I'm from the same part of Belfast as them. We're both from West Belfast, but they're much younger. So they're part of the ceasefire generation, whereas I'm part of the Troubles generation that came before. You know, remember that war that we had? We dreamed of a bloody ceasefire. It never happened while I lived there. So Kneecap, they use a lot of Troubles iconography in their performance. You know, they wear balaclavas, even the fact that they're called Kneecap, which is a reference to punishment shootings. All of these things, for my generation who lived through the war, they've got associations of fear, trauma, very, very bad times. But for the fellas in Kneecap, I mean, they just look at these things from a post-war perspective, and it's just not the same for them because they didn't live through it. They use those things as part of how they express themselves creatively. And I'm not saying that one perspective is right and one is wrong. They're just different. And I think the world benefits from different points of view. So as long as we can stay open-minded and listen to each other, we're all good. So thank you for listening to me today. It's a real pleasure to speak to you. I never take it for granted. And here we are in season 7, would you believe? This is episode 258. Whoa, I mean, come on. What else is there left to say? Well, plenty, as it turns out. I think so anyway. So for the next bunch of episodes coming up over the next few months, here's the plan. I'm going to do one a week, and the broad theme that I'm circling around from now till the end of the year is positive thinking. How do we, you and me, learn to think more positively? And I want to particularly explore this through some of the questions that we use in coaching to help clients navigate the world. So if you've not come across me as a coach before, I've been coaching for, I think it's like 22, 23 years. So I'm one of the UK's most experienced life and career coaches. You stick around long enough, you become the most experienced. My particular area that I specialise in right now is career coaching for people who work in media and creative professions. So I coach a lot of writers, TV producers, presenters, directors, people like that. And by the way, feel free to get in touch if you're part of that world and you'd like to have a chat. But for the podcast, I'm conscious that listeners can be from all kinds of backgrounds. So I always make sure that I choose things to talk about that will be helpful to as many people as possible. I'm also conscious of the fact that there definitely is a perception that coaching is all about telling people what to do and what to think. That it's all about being some big charismatic guru giving out big dollops of wisdom and advice, telling people what to do. It's not that at all. It's about deep and careful listening to your client and then asking questions that will help that person navigate their world to make changes and do whatever it is that they want to do. Because if I was to simply tell people what to do, I mean, then if it worked, great, but it would be my victory. And if it didn't work, then it would be my fault. But by supporting the client to find their own way, then they're the one who's empowered, and they're the one who will be better able to steer their own ship as a result. So listening and asking questions, that's what coaching is. And what I want to do now is to bring more of the kind of questions that we ask in coaching sessions and give them to you through the podcast. So it'll give you something to focus your thoughts on for that week. That's the idea. And if you like the sound of that, feel free to show your appreciation by leaving a rating or a review, or buying me a coffee on Ko-fi, because there's a link in the show notes. You can do all of that. So I've just got a wee question to leave you with for today. And actually thinking about it, I don't think I've ever asked this of a client, but it is a question that I've been thinking about recently, and I found it really interesting and a really useful thing to focus on. The question for you is, or the question for you to ask yourself is, what can I do today that tomorrow me will thank me for? What can I do today that tomorrow me will thank me for? So you can kind of hear there's a lot going on in that, isn't there? We're not talking about something that you're going to feel the benefit of in 10 years' time. We're talking about tomorrow. It's just around the corner, but still everything to play for. Tomorrow doesn't exist yet, but she will do in a matter of hours. How's she going to feel about the decisions and the choices that you made today? So what can you do today that tomorrow you will thank you for? Isn't that interesting? Let me know how you get on with that. And do come and say hello. I always love to hear from you. And you can see in the show notes how to get in touch. I'll talk to you soon.